professional manner and good cooking, but he's crazy. He's actually crazy.
Hello NineK, thank you very much for being here with me and welcome to the BAZAROIDE.
Well, I'm NineK from the Paris Eternal gym.
So NineK, there's a lot of things I want to talk about with you today. And first, we are going to come back on your last match and the win against the Boston Uprising, win 3-2. Once again, a tough match for Paris Eternal. Were you happy with the performance of the team?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm pretty happy about that because a lot of things using different comms recently, but we prepare our style and what we can do. But yeah, I quite disappointed about the Kingstro and the Liato, but still that is one of the reasons about that because we asked to them a long tough comm, but still they do really well because we almost win the both of the map. But I just still proud of that. The player just follow us and they do their job.
Yeah, you gave them the instruction about the composition. That's not the player choice.
Most of the time, Rush and me and the other staff just making decision because most of the time we don't have a lot of time for the prepare every single map with the a perfect comp, and also we need to consider about the enemy team play style. So we want to do which way about we can actually against them or what can we do the best about this map. But in that time, yeah, we prepare enough, but I think we slightly do our mistake, and so I think that's one of the problem.
Would you say that Boston has improved a lot the last few weeks? Were they better this time than the first match you played against them during the May Melee tournament playoffs?
I mean, in the May tournament and right now, we can't say they're improved a lot, but they still have a lot really high potential. I mean, I can't really remember about all their Boston this year because we didn't play with them. But after they pick up the Halo and Punk and every single player, and they still have a high potential team. I feel like.
There were big new things this week for the Paris Eternal because you brought in Sp9rk1e for the first time. Now he's 18 years old. How did that change things in your preparation for the match against the Boston Uprising?
I think that is quite huge impact because we used to actually it's right now SIG and Sp9rk1e was not elbow level, so as NineK and Sud need to do too much work because they need to do every hero to practice and they can't focusing every single thing, and each of them we want to using the different comp because Lars and me want to using a lot of different comp at the different map, so that is the reason they get the hard time some of the time. But right now they can focusing about that they're each of the low, so I think that is making our team getting stronger.
That was the first week Sp9rk1e practiced with you, or he already practiced with you before?
Before we some of time practice with him, but that is not only because making his performance good, because we want to try the different comp thing and don't want to making the player burn out, because player was a a hard time during the May tournament, because not only the May tournament, because they have too much working and they didn't prepare their break time, so we want to making some time giving the short a break, something like that. So and also Sp9rk1e also want to get the play time because he just so much nervous about before the season, because everyone think about Sp9rk1e can be bring a huge thing, but yes, it's kind of a pressure to him also. So it's every single reason. It's not just the only reason because we want to using the Sp9rk1e to make after his birthday.
Would you say, as a coach, the very high expectation around Sp9rk1e, is that a good or a bad thing?
I think it's pretty good for the fan. Also, it's good for us. But I think as a fan, if we have a star player like a Sun and Sp9rk1e, a lot of fans can notice us more than without that. So I think it's good.
Yeah, but as a coach, what do you think?
As a coach,
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's one of the good thing because we can using right now double flex DPS or a one flex with the we have a more barriers, and I think so it's good.
How was he before the game starts? Was he excited, stressed? Was he jumping all around, or just happy to finally be able to play?
I think everything is just after we made Millie tournament finish, we have a break, right? But he didn't take a actually break because he only taking a long break. so he's every day he practiced almost, and he was so hype and he was so nervous, but he really happy he came back to the tournament. So I think not single word is making like a expression clearly, but he has every single thing at that time, like a stress and happy and nervous and like everything. So it's hard to express this one word. Yeah.
And what did you say to him just before the match began?
I told to him, to be honest, don't think about how your performance, don't think about the game, just throw with the game, because if you're nervous and you want to be perfect at the game, he can't do actually good work at the game. So I just ask him to just throw the game, just do like a brain dead every time, just do whatever you want.
Just play at your strengths and just shot head, right?
Yeah.
So Element Mystic, the last Sparkle team, and been as well, was known to play a lot around Sparkle, giving him a lot of resources to shine and carry the team. Will Paris develop the same play style? Because this week against Boston, there were Nano Genji, Right Click Mercy, even the composition were made around Sparkle picks.
Maybe people think about that way, but it's not because he's good or bad, because we want to using that kind of the comp, because it's not this Sparkle. Because even when Nico was available to play at that time or that map, we definitely using that kind of comp, because we feel like that comp can working at that map. That is only the reason. Not like a Sparkle is good at the para or something like that, because we choosing the person and the comp because of the map wise. Be more.
Talking about play styles, Ben Best, he said on Twitter, majority of OWL teams wants to play the easiest way, but we like to try things and adapt it to our play style. What does Ben mean? What do you think about that?
I mean, because last year, a lot of teams using the copy about the same comp most of the time, right? Because every play Learning Goat and Shanghai win the season 3, but I think copy of the comp is not actually it can be like a really strong team, but if you're not actually strong at some point, maybe we can just learning different comp, and some people can say it's cheating, but I feel like it's not actually that, because if you're good at the different thing, why do you necessary to follow about the same comp as like a different team style? And also every team using the same comp, that means we can using the different comp at the different point. So I think his point about that, because I asked the player, and Russia also asked the player, we doesn't need to too much follow about the same comp as like other team, because the reason about that, we're good at the Overwatch comp also. I mean, at the Lizard is feel like we're not good, but actually we're not that much bad. But I want to using the player don't want to get the too much considering only the one comp. I mean, if you're good at the one comp, it can be a good success at there. But recently Blizzard patch about the lot of thing at the comp, so that kind of making in trouble us. We're good at the Lionheart and Diva and May Leaper and May McCree and the earlier this year, but after they nerf about that comp and after ban system appear, we can't just say about this comp is good, so we want to learning about that comp whole time, because we doesn't expecting about what can they bring for us and what they can bring for that. So we want to get the more experience about the long term wise, to making the player get the good experience about that they can using their brain and their mechanic improving.
All right. Some people said as well that you play this kind of play style to hide your strategy for the next game against the San Francisco Shock.
Maybe.
That's a tricky one.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, who knows? We're gonna using the same thing or a different thing as that, because I told already every map have a different illustrate about how can using it, the hero and the play style and something. So I can't just say about that because of the shock.
No, we're gonna have the surprise next weekend. Don't worry. So that was the first win for Paris Eternal after a short break in the season. Was it important and necessary for the player, but the coaching staff as well, to have this break?
I think it was necessary because last year May break was actually a good stimulate and the motivation for the player too. The stress level of the player are actually quite high because of the ban system and Corona situation. Even though we don't have to go out for often while playing professional, the situation that made it difficult for the player to have a high motivation because we get more motivation because of the fans. So I think the break was good. Less for us to show the better performance for our fans.
All right. And as a coach, what have you done during this break?
To be honest, I didn't do anything special. For the first week, I played a game with my friends and the player. And for the second week, I slept almost like 12 hours every day. During the season, it's hard to sleep well because I have an insomnia and the tension, like a stress and everything is making very hard to get the sleep. So I almost get the 4 hours sleep every day, and even 4 hours I wake up sometimes. So I feel like everything suddenly I feel sick and tired after the second week, and I get the 12-hour sleep every day.
And now you're fine.
I think so.
Now.
I think so. I hope so.
You would say that this season, the 2020 Overwatch League season, is tighter led than the previous one?
Yeah, to be honest, yes. Because in that time, everyone using the same com and everyone don't bring the ban system, so we just only can focus on what we're good at. I mean, that time we have a different stress, but this year's stress is much higher than. And also, without the stage, it's really hard to making the player keep the high motivation to extra working, extra the practice, and extra their self control, something like that, because they're just standing on their own bedroom. I mean, right now we're bring the player the same a possibility, but used to be the company and also the rush want to be making the player, and me also want to be making the player to stay in their own bed, because it's making the corona situation in New Jersey is one of the highest corona areas, so we don't want to making any risk about the player. So that time everyone's just separated, making the low motivation, to be honest. But I mean, they're working hard still, but it's quite hard to making them working a high level.
Talking about a player who's working hard right now to come back to NA, Exi is still in Korea. Will he be back soon with the team?
I can't say a detail about him because he's a next situation and his personal pain is quite high level. But I hope he's gonna be back soon, because one of the reasons about that, he's one of the good player and good performance, but he's really sick at that time, so we just said about that. But he's I mean, he will be back soon anyway. I hope so. Before the playoff.
All right. But he's fully recovery right now, no?
No, his recovering is taking the more than actual the problem, because the problem is he's have a disc about his neck and his back, so this is not easily just taking the short term to recovery. He can take it less, but he's maybe after the season he taking the more seriously liquor. But right now corona situation making hard recovering easily because of the hospital, they don't have a really working condition for the taking him to be recovery, because they need to focusing about the more other stuff. But yeah, he will getting better.
For now, Paris Eternal has 8 wins and 5 losses. What do you think about the first part of the season?
I think first of the part of the season, a lot of team when they do the power ranking, something like that, they're put really low level to us, right? So I was actually
not that much in France.
Yeah. I mean, I literally like that. I mean, even Rush like it, the player like it because we're at the underdog. If you do like a lighting and like a good performance, everyone like it, right? So it's making the more story, and also at the shock. Also at first year, we'll never be a good team, and after that, a lot of the team put the high ranking us that, but we're actually feel like under the whole time because underdogs making the player making more strong motivation. And I love that because at the beginning of the season, when we get the one winning, everyone's so hyped and everyone get the high motivation in it because and every team is literally underlaid us. So I like that.
So finally, you're happy with the first part of the season?
Not yet, but because recently someone like a fan say that we're not good performance at it, but yeah, we're still getting winning because. So I like that part, but I be hungry to get the more higher seed.
One of the issues at the beginning of the season was the language barrier between Korean and Western player. How does this work right now?
I mean, we have still like a high language problem, but we can't say like a high. But if we don't have Corona, to be honest, I mean, it's not that much huge issue because we can standing together, and the Abala was working on the English lecture to the Korean player and even staff, but after Corona issue happened, we almost didn't meet each other like almost like 2 months, right? And yeah, 2 months is really important, the language part, because in the game they're fine. Almost like they can say like a simple word and language level, but at the outside of the language part, they lost the opportunity to be get the increasing, right? The developing. So I think that is one of the disadvantage for this year because I was expecting there can be like a bring more high level of the English level, but after the Corona, they can't do anything about that part.
Yeah, they're doing their best, and they're improving. That's better and better every
they're getting improving, but it's not like a huge way. They can't do like a huge way.
So I think that Paris has 8 wins this year. What is your favorite victory and why?
Philadelphia Fusion won because it's the last game of the stage, and it was also fun during the game. It was even I was coaching. It was so fun to watching it, and the starter and the play style is really interesting because Carpe is one of the god, and everyone like say that. But and also your player was good enough. And the one thing to be honest, at that match before the day we lose to Houston with the 3-0, 3-1. I can't remember, but I think we didn't like on performance, like we did like really bad performance that time, and everyone we get the gathering at the hotel same room, and we're talking about how we can do like this week better and how can we do, and we analyze about the Philadelphia, how they're going to be play, and everything was working, and we get the victory at that time. So I think it was pretty good experience for everyone.
And what was the toughest defeat for you, the hardest one?
I think it's also Philly because we could won that game. I mean, everyone feel like every single player feel like they're definitely won that game. I mean, we making so many mistake and Carpe carry out so many things, but I think we definitely can win that game. And I was kind of like out of my mind. I mean, I don't know how can I feel like to say about that feeling, but we definitely can win that game. I mean, we can't say like Philly was like a bad or good something like that, but their one game is over, so they won, but we feel like we didn't lose a game.
And how are you when Paris Eternal lose a game?
Whenever the match ends, I always think about how we could get the better result. But after defeat against Philly, my head was like really complicated. I mean, it was like hard to think about that. And Rush also like we like watching really more than 5 times or 10 times to be able like why are we losing? What can we do better? And what part about we can be at that time better? Something like that. But we need to do that. I mean, like because coach's job, one of the coach's huge job is not making the player stop their brain to be working it. But I mean, I can't say like I'm the best like to do that and something part, but I don't want to be like a regret about what I didn't do. So
All right, and talking more about the player, who is the one from Paris Eternal who improved the most since the beginning of the season for you?
I think Nico, because I've seen him a lot from the Apex, and I always had a question mark of his like a hero pool because I only saw him Diva and Genji at that time, and after that he still played in the European contenders at the time, but I didn't like literally follow him. But his hero pool skill level wasn't the best out our tryout because we like try to find out like, which roster we can learning and during the older season because we don't have a lot of time. But his like attitude and trying hard and listening to coaches were positive aspect during our one-on-one interview, and every coaches like him, and he asked a lot of the coaches, and and he has a good leadership skill. So he's also smart enough. I mean, I think he has a more timing with him. He will get things better. Yeah.
Would you say that Nico is the most Korean from the French player?
No way. I mean, okay. I mean, I don't want to be say like a Korean or French or Western. I mean, I literally don't care about that. But I think it's soon also working hard because before us do the interview, he was streaming, and Ben Mess always come earlier at the practice room, and he do like literally working hard. Yeah, and FD also like do like a lot of like practice. So I mean every player is working hard actually.
Yeah, they're straight.
Yeah.
And you say you don't do the difference between like Western, Korean, and non-Korean player, but do you coach French players as you coach Korean players?
I don't think so, because I was like thinking about that, because this question is like last year when I teaching shock player, because some people think about, I mean, in that time also, if our attitude to the Western player and Korean player, they feel like different, but it's not because they're Western or Korean, because me and just like I'm not sure about the other coaches, but personally, when I teaching someone is because I try to understand about their behavior, attitude, or like their background, or understand about their thing, to how they're gonna be, try to understand it. So that is listen when I try to explain about something to the dependent player. I most of the time try to best to say about the football, something like that, because it's making him, because he was used to be like working that part, so it's making more understandable part. But and also some player I really strict on, some player I not strict as much as the other player, because I need to be like a middle, but I just try to making their like a more suitable to them. So I'm not like a really depend on the Western Korean. I just teaching then depend on their like a personality.
Yeah, you adapt on every player the way you're teaching them things. And coming back to the player, who is the player in Paris Eternal with the greatest potential for you? I think most of the player have like a really high potential, but I can't say like the pick up one person. But I think right now our situation, Philbo is the best potential player, because he still in the hyping, and because he's staying in Korea, and also I never ever meet him, so I didn't like really know about his personality, like his background or something. I do like talk with him, but I can't like do like a one-on-one teaching, or like Russia also can't do anything really deep to him. And also like our staff is quite like making like want to be like improving, but he's like English level also Abala can't teaching him, so it's kind of like a several thing we missing with him. But he do his best job, but I think he has like, if we gather together and he's next to us, I mean he will get the better performance. So I think he's the highest like performance. For the fans, I think Fielder is already doing amazing, because yeah, with the ping, with the time also in Korea when he's playing, like in the middle of the night, so it's tough for him. Can you tell us a few words about every player from Paris Eternal? You can start who you want.
Okay, I starting with the tanker because I love tanker. So Ben, I think he has really good leadership and humor because he's like a humorist, really fun. And passion is like a really looks like professional player because he is every single time he working hard and he tried to talk with me a lot and he do like a great job. So I think he's that kind of person. Yeah, and No Smite is hungry, kind, and Burton because he's like a long experience about the whole year because he's like almost like a 4-year pro player, and also he was almost like a bench last year, so he was really want to get the improving and showing to the performance the other. So he's kind of that kind of person. And Hanbin, I really want to say this for because. When I meet the Hanbin, I totally feel like he's the same as Cherubin. I mean Choi, San Francisco, because it looks like same and personality the same and character-wise same. I mean they're same using the same character and their name spelling is almost same. So I feel like I mean like they're like really kind both of them. I'm at the shock. Choi was my almost like a best friend as a player. I mean it's not only him because but I feel like him a lot of things the same thing. And Smacks, I think he had a lot of potential right now, but I'm sad we we can't give him opportunity because he's like a corona and like a surgery, a lot of thing and a lot of issue to happen to him. But it's hard to say about him right now. But yeah,
the unluckiest player from Paris Eternal, Smacks. Yeah.
And
so what about Soon? Yeah.
Burton, diligent, and considerate and faithful. I mean, because soon he asked to a lot of things for us, and he do like a suggestion to a lot of things also because he get a lot of experience from a different team. So he bring up like some good idea a lot of time, like not as a common only because, and he like really making the coaching decision to be like he doesn't really say anything about the not like complaining, but he like making I think this is good to be like for the team and player and why we using him, why we didn't using him, and why this part is good, like something like that. So I think like Sun is a good person, and he's like a good cooker also.
Oh really? He cooked for you French stuff?
No. He cooking for the FD because FD, and FD is to do the cleaning stuff.
yeah. Soon is cooking and FD is cleaning, right?
Yeah, but I want to try the student food because we have the food Discord, so everyone uploading their food because after Corona or before that, I mean, I just want to be know about what food they're taking the every player, so they uploading their food picture, and soon picture is so amazing every time. And at the match day he bring his food at the facility because he doesn't have time for the eating, and smell was so great, so I want to try.
All right, so that was about Soon. What about FD then?
FD, he's really cute. He's like a really cutie boy. And I think potential is also high because it's not like just like experience good word, but I think because FD didn't practice without the Lucio, he don't have almost zero experience about the other heroes, so he has to still have a high potential and diligent and kind. He's really kind. He's really kind person, and I think that is like a good experience for the FD. NineK. NineK also like a legend and cute because when I didn't meet him before, I think about NineK was literally a strong person, like a ego person, but he's actually not ego person. He's like a almost zero ego, and he just tried to talk with the coaches every time, and he working hard, and he's really cute. I mean, his joke is really funny. I mean, because he's it looks like never do joking, right? But he joking actually that is making more funny, and he curious is also high because he asking a lot of the coaching, and he curious a lot of thing part. So I think he's the kind of person.
Yeah, it's very funny. Last year, when I talked with Cruz and Gray, they told me NineK was the funniest guy in the team. Yeah, even if he doesn't look like, but he's the funniest.
Yeah, that is making more hilarious.
And then you were talking about Exy, right?
Yeah, actually, I mean, he's kind of childish, like not the only the bad meaning, like a good meaning, like because he like really loved the player, and I mean he didn't like ever say like that way, but we can feel like he like loves the team and love the. I mean, after like he Cruz and Gray leaving, he posting the Twitter because like it's not only their friend with them, but he like really love and really first time to be like get like a surprise because he really liked the American food. I mean, we didn't never try with the French food, but we are not sure about that part. But I think he feel like it because most of the Korean get the hard time because when they arrive to American food is too like a various tastes and like a spicy, not spicy, like a salty and cheesing, but he like it. So I think he like and he really have a high focusing level because sometimes he don't say a lot of things during the scream, but at the match time he say a lot of things, and but his focusing level is like really surprising.
And there's still Fielder, if you want to talk a bit more about Fielder and maybe a few words about Sp9rk1e as well.
Okay, I can't say much about him because I never met him. But I know him and slightly. I mean, and also he was not famous in Korea a lot, so I can't like, really say like a really good word in, but I really respect about him and proud of him because he never ever complain about the ping. So if the complaint of the ping is making the player get the stress because. But he never say any single word about that part, so I really like him. And
last but not least, Sp9rk1e.
Okay, professional, manner, and good cooking, but he's crazy. He's actually crazy. I mean, every people think about this, his streaming is like he do unnatural, right? But that is his natural thing. I mean, he even do it at the screaming. He do like same thing about that. I mean, I'm not sure about that. I never asked the player, do you guys like it that kind of crazy? But he's actually a crazy person. I mean, yeah, that's good. But he's crazy.
Did you see him on the camera when he killed like the 5 people with the blade on Volskaya first point? Did he jump all around and kick his seat? Or he stay calm?
I desperately want it, but we can't allow to go outside during the match time, so... I mean, next year, if we back to everyone at the home standing, I wanted to see that kind of thing.
Yeah, we love the crazy Sp9rk1e. Yeah, we love him. Now we're gonna talk a bit more about the OWL and the next match you've been waiting for a long time, I guess, against the San Francisco Shock. But first question, who is for you actually the best OWL team?
NA definitely Shock because I think I love the Shock style and I love their staff. I mean, their staff is working really hard. I mean, our staff also working hard, but so total away and they like prepare a lot of things, different thing, a lot of things, and they're like have a literally huge experience about everything. So I think some team can possible to beat them. I mean, but I think still they're gonna get back stronger because they have a lot of experience that kind of thing. So I think NA part is Shock and Korea. I didn't met them, but I think Psy. I mean, it's kind of like an obvious answer, but Psy is really still high potential about some part because they have a good DPS roster and their tanker is also kind of like a barriers can do because Boyd is really good too using the lot of things. He can do Hawk, Zarya, and Sigma, and high level Diva. So that is really good, like advantage of the game because one of the Shock's strong part, and we can do a lot of different things. It's like a off tank player can do a lot of different things and making the team more flexible, right? So I think their flexible Shock style is making the strong, and Sai also that one. That is the reason we also learning like different comp because we want to be more flexible some of the part. But I think both of teams is quite strong team.
All right, so the next match for Paris Eternal will be against the strongest team for you right now, the San Francisco Shock. You've been waiting for this match for a long time, right?
Yeah, actually I'm waiting this match like really long time. I mean, I hope we meet each other with the no ban. I mean, and get more experience. I mean, at the tournament one does make it more fun. But I think still it's gonna be. I mean, because and also the player want to get the strong team to get the more experience and making get high experience making that they're strong. So I think we want to make it a strong team. So I think it's good.
Do you think that SF Shock has an advantage because they didn't play last week and they saw you play?
Some of the part they have advantage because they saw already our comp style and they saw already what we're gonna do, and we're not sure we're learning that comp against them or something like that. But that is still advantage of that. But still, they probably don't have like a high advantage because they playing this week to a team like a Washington Justice. So I think that kind of part they like prepare a lot of map with a lot of comp. So their comp is probably gonna be what they're going to be good at, but I'm not sure about that part. So I think they're pretty good to play that.
In your opinion, what will make the difference for you this week? Do you think it's going to be the team who feel better with the meta right now? Do you think that it's going to be in the head?
I think both, because after a ban system exists, we can't just say it's good player and good coaching staff making get the winning condition, because every team using the different thing every single time and different style. I mean, it looks like same comp, but in that time it has like a slightly different analyze about how they're using the hero somewhere and ulti timing, something like that. So I think both is to be very important about that. But we can't just say about the comp is making the good condition to winning.
All right, and is there still a bet between you and the SF Shock staff about a free restaurant for the winner?
Oh, do you know that? Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, after Corona we didn't do that, but I mean, at the season and every time we met, we talked that one. I mean, so I told them if we're gonna be meet in Paris, we definitely gonna be, without winning or not, I'm gonna be buy first ring or first time, but after the winner gonna be buy everything. So, but yeah, actually, Harsha beat us before the fusion, and he's supposed to be buy one drink, and he just didn't come. So because Harsha is also like a San Francisco shop before, so we making the rule each other. Yeah.
And talking about the San Francisco Shock, if you could take one thing from the SF Shock and give it to Paris Eternal, what would it be?
Experience. I mean, I really want to get that kind of experience, because at the first stage final, everyone feel like we need more experience. We want to get the strong after the stage 1 final, and that is making our 7-0 and 28 winning. But our team is, unfortunately, we didn't get the high level about the main melee, but that is also making get the stronger, and after like a strong team is making stronger. So I think that kind of experience is making a team stronger.
Yeah, but Paris is building experience every week. So the final step is to be ready for the grand final for Paris. This year was a tough one because you lost a few player left Paris Eternal. I'm thinking about Eep, Gray, and Cruz. Who's the one you're missing the most?
I'm missing Hip a lot because the funny thing is Cruz is still living with us.
Really?
Yeah. Because the Canada right now is not allowed to get any like a non-Canadian, so he's still at the same apartment and he's still share with the Sparkle. So if we want to meet him, we can go meet him. So I think it's fine. And Gray just leave the apartment last week because he also like a Corona situation. He hard to go back and something like that. So I think, and also it's not only that, because until the Hip leaving, we was get the really good result about the whole series. I mean, we still lose of some map, but that moment is everything Corona and a lot of like a different experience getting came over. And he was really one of the good person to be like bring the team stronger. And every match he like say good word and kind of word and polite word, and everyone like him.
Yeah, I used to say that if you want to hate Hip, never meet him. Never just never ever meet him. He's such a good guy. So 9K, you started the season with 12 players. Now you only have 8 available players, 10 with XZ, but he's in Korea, and Sp9rk1e, but he's in England. Have you planned to get some reinforcements before the end of the season?
I'm not sure, because we sometimes need to think about that kind of part during the season, but we doesn't know about what this Corona gonna bring for us. Like, because if the next year have a homestanding, I mean, definitely we can just easy to say that. But I think without that, we are not sure where we're gonna be do what kind of parts. So it's hard to say. But I think in the long term wise, maybe we need to consider a bit more about that, because right now we need to matching about every single match. So we didn't like really consider, and it's still like June. So but season is left like a 3 months, something like that. But I think we can still think about it later.
And what would be a successful season for Paris Eternal?
We can't. I mean, maybe playoff is making more successful season, but as a person, maybe good result at the playoff. I don't want to be lose to the other team just like a 3-0 or 4-0. So I want good playoffs making more happy.
And what would be the best grand final for you? The dream one?
Dream one? Us with the Sp9rk1e shock, but I'm not sure it's possible. because, because like I'm not sure about what this league gonna be do at the final, because Asia team is standing Asia and we're like East Coast and they're West Coast, and we can't like everyone moving right now. So I'm not sure anything about that part. So, but yeah, as a person, there's one thing I told to when I'm leaving the shock, we really gonna be mid the grand final anyway. I mean, but I'm not sure.
To end the interview, NineK, I would like to ask you if you're learning French as Avala.
Not really. I mean, sorry about that part, but I didn't learn because I mean, Avala is really have a really talent about the French, and I mean, I learned from the like a band and FD when they speaking. I slightly learned that, but Avala is like actually studying it. She like watching the YouTube about the how can she do better or something like that. But I didn't like do like that. I just like when I'm learning English, I just didn't actually studying. I just like get the language about the nature. So I can't say I just learning about the like Avala, but I tried to get things slightly. And actually, after the season, maybe I'm gonna take in the French lecture.
And,
I mean,
yeah, and don't worry, you don't have to apologize. You know that like you're very busy already. So when I asked Avala to describe you in a few adjectives, she said that you are very caring, meticulous, and also big brain. What does it mean, NineK?
I'm not sure about the caring part because I just do the normal job, so I'm not sure about the caring.
Very caring.
Maybe, but also meticulous. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that part because I never think about gonna meticulous about my life because I mean maybe if she can feel like it's different with the Washington last year, so maybe that will feel like she can do, but I just do the normal. And big brain is maybe sarcastic.
You think so? No. Everyone, even the player, they told me the coaching staff is big brain.
Yeah, thanks for that, but I'm kind of ashamed of it because I never think about myself as like a other personal view because I hope that everything is good work because I mean if you're on top tier team I feel like that, but I'm not sure. We need to get work more.
And she also said that about Rush that he's very strategic and very strict. Do you agree with Avala?
Yeah, so I think I agree with a lot of part because he has a lot of experience as an esports because he used to be working like the StarCraft and StarCraft 2 and League of Legends and Dota. A lot of he has like a huge experience, and some people say that the esports experience in different game is not the same. But I feel like when I met him, he's actually his skill of the language to say to the player and directly or something to teach them, and his strategic part is like making the amazing about a lot of things. So I think that is working. Everything is light to him. And
how would you describe Avala in a few words? You did it, so you can do it now.
Attention seeker. She uploading a lot. She actually happy about uploading a lot of things. But yeah, not only that, but I think at the sports part, I think that is good because just in Korean person, I mean, like I don't want to separate it, but Asian people is really not showing about to be like or grow to be showing themselves and do to working to be like a showing of the team, but that is making the player to be interesting to be like get the more social industry way and making their like a do or light working about that kind of part. So I think that's good.
She brings a lot to the team, right?
Yeah, actually, not only the English, because when we do home sending, I mean, I supposed to be do more like a delivery, like a good way to be bring every player in the live play, because I'm the GM, not only the coaching stuff.
Yeah.
But she helped me a lot of that kind of part, because she get a lot of experience before when she working at the university or something like that. So she and me working the same part about that. So I can do more. I mean, I'm not only focusing on the coaching one, but she also helped a lot of things. That kind of part.
And she is really appreciated by all the French community. We love Avala. And when she came in the show, Avala just like end saying "J'aime beaucoup le BAZAROIDE." BAZAROIDE is the name of the talk show. Maybe to finish the interview, can you say "Je suis un grand fan du BAZAROIDE"? Did you practice it?
Can you light that? I will try.
Okay. I am a big fan of the BAZAROIDE. Je suis un grand fan du BAZAROIDE.
Du BAZAROIDE? That's right.
Almost.
Okay.
Je suis. Okay, you got it. Je suis fan. Du BAZAROIDE.
Du BAZAROIDE?
Yeah, almost. And now everything. So, je suis fan du BAZAROIDE.
Je suis fan BAZAROIDE.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much, NineK. That was like such a big pleasure for me to talk with you like this for almost an hour. And I get that you have a lot of work to prepare the next match against the San Francisco Shock. So once again, thank you very much, NineK, and all the best.
Thank you very much. I really love this kind of interview, because it's like I just want to do like a posting more thing to the like a Twitter or something like that, but I'm kind of like a shy about that kind of part. So this kind of interview making more like a easy to be like a showing our team, like a personally like a team player and like a step player to be like how they working, something like that. So I really like it. It was really happy time to do it, and also I can look back about how we do things. So I think it's good. Thank you very much. Don't worry, NineK. Now you have your VIP card. You can come back whenever you want. The door is always open for you. Thank you once again. Have a good day. Bye bye, NineK. Have a good day. Bye.
What you did to me, I was so